Hi there, my name is Nicola Delic. Today I'm going to give you my Rapid Cash Accumulator, a simple yet profitable strategy I use to earn regular cash in the currency market. It's a strategy that I'm confident anyone could learn in an hour or two and earn $500 to $1,000 a day with it, even if you never traded before. But before I introduce this strategy, let me share a little bit around myself for those of you who don't know me. As a child, I was always fascinated with numbers and statistics, and I discovered I had a natural knack for seeing patterns in a large dataset, profitable patterns. I started coding by the time I was 10. And when I was 17, I began helping other people earn millions with their investments. Soon, I started my own hedge fund, and since its early beginnings, it has never dropped below 10 million. Eventually, news of my success spread, and today banks and financial institutions pay me as much as $25,000 a day to learn my strategies. I've appeared on TV, blogs, interviews, and some of the best-known trading and investing websites in the world. And I have more than 27,000 fans on popular social media sites like Facebook and YouTube. Soon, I began helping thousands of people learn to trade successfully and achieve their financial goals using systems I created. Systems that generated monthly gains as high as 170%. In fact, my latest strategy, which you'll be learning more about very soon, is one a well-known financial institutions paid me millions to use exclusively for a limited time. I'm not telling you all this to brag. In fact, I really don't like the spotlight at all, but I want you to feel confident that I'm more than qualified to help you, and that when I say my Rapid Cash Accumulator could let you generate 3 to 5k a week, it's absolutely good. That's why I'm giving it today, so you could start making some cash right away. I'm going to show you how to set it up on your MT4 trading platform and start taking trades within an hour or so from now. After you made a few trades, be sure to return to this page and leave me a comment below telling me what you like the best about my strategy. If I think your comment is interesting, you could win a valuable prize, including an Amazon shopping gift card valued at $500, a $500 in a Bitcoin, a paid membership with my soon-to-be-released flagship Forex Master Level strategy that's a $4,000 value. Ready to start making some cash? Let's get started. Hi traders, welcome to another short video. In this video, I want to introduce you to one of my systems called the Rapid Cash Accumulator. We are going to go over the basics of the systems and how the system really works, explaining you the rules and the components. Once you load the template, on your chart you are going to see something like this, and when you load it first time, definitely I can say that you can be slightly confused because you see a lot of things on the chart. So the best idea to explain how everything works would be to walk you over each thing that you see on the chart. And definitely this system comes with a 6 indicators, so definitely not a small amount of the indicators, but still it's fine amount of the number. So if we start first with these colored candles, you can see that we have slightly changed how candles look. Now, nothing big change there. The only thing that's different compared to the normal candle is how we label them. Like, we are using the 50 EMA to get that short-term trend of this time frame, and based on that we are coloring the candle. So for example, once price breaks below the 50 EMA, we are going to print that candle red, while price hold above the 50 EMA, we are going to print that green bars. So definitely this should be easy. It's good to, let's say, always know the direction of the trend, especially since this system is more or less that momentum trend based. So that's why it's handy. The next part is support and resistance, and you can see here we have two different types. So we have support and resistance. It's a simple indicator that was built on the base that every, let's say, 5 to 10 candles, we are going to check the market for a potential support and resistance points. It's going to be the main idea how you are going to trade at a breakout, but more about that once we go and start explaining the system rules. For now, what is really important for you to understand is that if we have a green lines, not lines, it's more dots, you are going to call that a resistance. And if you have these pink dots, we are going to call them a support. So definitely easy thing to remember. Next part is the pivot. Pivot point is something that I always have on the chart. It doesn't really matter what kind of the system I use, I always like to have the pivot points on the chart. The reason for that is simple. Pivots can be a decent view on the current market movement, because I don't want to trade the market if, let's say, we don't know if we have the room to, let's say, go higher or lower. So if we look at this over here, we can see this is more or less a white line. This is our pivot point daily, of course. After it, we have resistance 1, resistance 2, resistance 3. After it, we have support 1, support 2, and support 3. And how you are going to use this is simple. You are going to look for this higher area bound, the resistance 2 and resistance 3, and the support 2 and 3. And if price reach that zone, you should probably stay aside of the trade, like opening the new trade. If you are already in a trade, it's fine. But if you want to trade after price reach one of these zones, I would probably stay aside, because usually market lose entire power and like to turn. So definitely that's why I like to have them on the chart, especially since we are going to use a smaller time frame and every single detail really is important. The next part is direction indicator. Our direction indicator is similar to our colored candles, but we are looking for that 4-hour trend. So we are using the higher time frames to base our potential trend idea. And if trend is up, we are going to point these trade bullish setups only. And if trend is down on the 4-hour time frames, we are going to put here trade bearish setups only. Because I still want to more or less force the traders to trade in a direction of the trend, especially the new ones, because I think that's one of the common mistakes a lot of people make, like trading against the trend when you are a new trader. I know it's great feeling like when you are picking up the top or the bottom, but it's really hard, to be honest. And you really need to have a lot of skills and to spend a lot of time mastering how markets work to be able to do that. So for the start, it's much easier and safer approach to go with that trend trading idea. That's why this indicator is really helpful for you guys. The final two indicators, I call them confirmation indicators, because they are only there to confirm our setups. The first histogram is based on the momentum, and second is stochastic RSI. So a little bit more the stochastic indicator and the RSI. So slight combination. Both indicators are great. Only thing I want you to remember is that the first histogram was more or less designed for this system, so you can't use it for other systems, while stochastic RSI you can use the same way as you use, let's say, stochastic. Till now you can use stochastic RSI, but histogram indicator was specially designed for this system to help me confirm that place, but we are going to talk about that in a second. So don't try to use them with other systems, it's just not going to work. For a buy trade, the first thing is that direction indicator must show that trade bullish setups like we have here on the chart. So you're always going to trade in that direction of the trend. So that's the first thing you need to do. Step 2 is to wait to spot a breakout of the green resistance on the support resistance indicator. So this is where that breakout happened on the chart. So that's what you want to see. The next part is to confirm the move, because every setup should be confirmed to make sure that we increase the chance to be right. For the confirmation, we are using that histogram and the stochastic RSI. For the buy confirmation, the histogram indicator, so that's the first indicator, must be green, and the stochastic RSI must be above 65. So if we use that same breakout point, we can see that we have that histogram green and the stochastic RSI is above 65. Everything above the line is that 65 and all fine. So that's what you need to see to confirm the trade. Step 4, trade. If all the above conditions have been met, proceed to enter the market with the buy trade immediately. You don't need to wait for candle to close. So as soon as you spot that breaking point and you check, better to say confirm, you can enter a trade. Place your stop at the most recent support line. So just use that opposite dot line. Definitely the easy way. Place your take profit at double the number of pips away from your entry as your stop loss. So double the size from entry to stop loss used for the take profit, so to get 1 to 2 risk reward. Now, first thing first, we want to see what the side we want to trade. Here, straight bullish setup, so we can go for the long setups. So waiting for that breakout, and here I wanted to see a breakout, but we didn't print the line. And if we don't print the line, it's not really the breakout. The first breakout here appeared over here. So after you see that breakout, you want to see the green on the histogram, so green bar on the histogram, and your stochastic RSI must be above 65. So we have that over here. For the stop loss, we are going to use this line, and for the take profit, we are going to use more or less the 2 times that side. So 2 times the distance of the stop loss to entry point. Now let's move to the sell rules. For the sell, step 1 is the same. The direction indicator must show trade bearish setups. So everything the same, but we need to see trade bearish setups. After that, we need to wait to spot the breakout of red support on that support resistance indicator. For example, like here we have that breakout, so that's what we want to see. Again, we need to confirm everything, and that's why we have that step 3, confirm the move. The histogram indicator in this case must be red, and stochastic RSI must be below 35. So just the opposite of the things we had for the buy trade. So here we can see that the first indicator is red and the stochastic RSI is below 35. So below this lower level. For trade, it's all the same. If all the above conditions have been met, proceed to enter the market with a sell trade immediately. You don't need to wait for the candle to close. So place your stop loss at the most recent resistance line. So better to say most recent high, but you don't need to worry about that. Easier to use that resistance indicator. So this is our stop loss. And for take profit, place your take profit at double the number of pips away from your entry as your stop loss. So double the distance from your entry to stop loss, like shown on this picture. So for example, if your entry to stop, you have a 50 points or pips, however you want to call them, you are going to use the 100 points for your take profit. Now, let's see the example. So first example over here, we need to check is that direction say trade bearish setups, fine. So over here we didn't got the breakout. Over here we have the breakout. So we need to check if histogram is red. In this case it's red, and over here price must be below 35. Here we can see that price is clearly below the 35, so we can enter a trade right after the breakout and after we confirm everything. And we are going to use previous high, or better to say resistance, as our stop loss, and double that size. So double that size is going to be our take profit. Now, price continue to move, all fine, you missed that. Again, here you have the same thing. Again, you are going to do the same thing. What? You are going to look for what? So just to make sure we are clear. So over here, we need the red, and price here need to be below 35. So if here we have the 35 below, right at 35, so it's fine. You can enter a trade. Again, this would be your stop loss, and double that, like entry to stop loss distance is going to be your take profit. So or again, here we don't have a breakout since we don't have that being printed. Over here we can see the breakout, and here we can see something different. Like here we can see that our first indicator is red, so histogram indicator is red, so fine, but the stochastic RSI is more or less, let's say 60 to 65 and not below 35. So there you don't look to enter. You are waiting for the next breakout point. Now, let's see a few tricks and tips. First tip is that the best result can be achieved on the smaller time frame, on the 5 minutes and the 15 minutes. You can use the higher time frames, but we designed more or less all the indicators to be that momentum based, and that's why a smaller time frame is great. Also, the great thing is to try to trade only pairs that already are showing that momentum. So when you wake up and when you sit in front of your screen, want to trade with this system, check a little bit what pairs moved yesterday or moved in the last 4 or 5 hours, and trade that, because we are looking for that momentum. If we don't have a momentum, we can't expect to see a breakout. That's why I try to trade something that's moving. If you want to play a little bit safe or not that aggressive, you can use a 2 targets. For example, take profit 1, put at 1 to 1 of the distance between the entry to stop loss, and the take profit 2 you can put again to 1 to 2. Definitely that's a little bit more safer approach, but so what do you prefer, 1 or 2 targets? The tip 4 is that don't have more than 3 trades open at the same time, since this definitely, with the time frames that we trade, can give us ability to have 5, 10 or even more trades at the same time, but it's hard to manage all the trades. So try to have 1 to 2 trades ideally always open, not always open, but open at the same time, and 3 top, like everything above 3 is hard to manage, because you can get the news coming from all around the world, like popping in instant, and You want to keep that risk minimum. And the final tip is don't trade if market already reached the support 3 or resistance 3 levels. So if you reach that support 3 resistance 3 levels, just keep that pair for today. Of course, you can trade it tomorrow, because once you see that support 3 or resistance 3 being reached, that tell you, okay, we have a momentum, but you can't trade that momentum right now. And it's better to wait to market for close, for that New York session to close. And after that, you can start a new day and you can from there continue to play that pair. I hope you enjoyed this small presentation, and I really hope you will enjoy using this system as much as I enjoyed trading it for the past few months. If you have any question, you can always ask me down below in the comments section. Have a nice day, traders, and I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.